Say hey.
Hi.
Yay. So this little bugger has been sick for the last 2.5 weeks with RSV. So what that is a respiratory virus. And it's really, really bad, or it can be really, really bad in babies and toddlers. Adults get it too, but it's mostly babies and toddlers. So it's like having the flu times like three. But you can have the flu and have RSV. So how this happened is we went to a story time with toddlers because we were already going to a story time, but it had mostly babies. So we went to this new one that had toddlers, more babies her age that walk and run around. The next day, we were supposed to go to the baby story time, like the one that I was already going to, and she had a runny nose, so I didn't go. That was a Thursday. That Friday, she woke up. She had pink eye in one eye. And if you've had pink eye before or have known someone who has had pink eye, you know what pink eye looks like as soon as it starts. So I used to get pink eye a lot when I was little. I know exactly what it looks like. My oldest daughter has had pink eye before when she was a baby. And then she also had pink eye when she was like 4 months. And it was crazy because we were trying to figure out how she got it because nobody else in the house had it. And she hadn't been outside the house around anybody yet. So I automatically knew as soon as like she woke up and I saw before her eye had even gotten pink, I already knew she had pink eye. That Saturday, she woke up, she now had it in both eyes. So I took her to the doctor on Monday, um, and I actually took them both to the doctor because this little cold of runny nose that she had from Thursday, she gave to her sister. So sister didn't go to school on Monday. I took them both to the doctor. The doctor checked, their throats. They didn't have strep throat or anything like that. Nope. Um, I'm recording on my phone. Sorry. And she gave me medication for the pink eye. Now I breastfeed, and a lot of people do know that if you're breastfeeding and your child has pink eye, you can. Okay, bye. You can use the breast milk, and it's supposed to help cure the pink eye. Actually, breast milk is supposed to help cure a lot of stuff. I'm sitting here talking about breast milk, and here she is trying to. No! No! You stop! Here, hold your pretty necklace. So anyway, um, so the doctor is like, oh, it seems like they just both have a cold. I'm gonna just give you the medication for the pink eye. Okay, cool. We go home. A week goes by, and I'm like, dude, she's really, like, she's still sick, but big sister is not sick anymore. This is crazy. And then I'm sick now, and I'm like, gosh, like, I wish she'd just get better. And if I'm sick and she's still nursing, it's really hard for any of us to get better because it's kind of like we're just passing it back and forth, back and forth. So then I'm like, she doesn't even have an appetite. Like, this isn't good. So we go into the next week, and I'm like, she still doesn't have an appetite. And I noticed that her wet diapers are a little bit low, but not super low. I assumed that it was low because she was sleeping a lot and she wasn't actually nursing. Because she wouldn't eat anything, she wouldn't drink anything besides breast milk. So by the end of that week, the wet diapers kind of died down. And I tell my husband, I'm like, I think we should take her to the ER because she's still sick. And we're already kind of like on like 10, 11 days already. So he's like, all right, let's take her to the ER. So we take her Saturday. So last Saturday, and they give her fluids because she's severely dehydrated, and they were going to admit her because of the RSV. So they did a test for RSV, and they based on her symptoms. Oh, and that first week she was sick, she also had a fever every single day, a fever of like 103, 104 every single day. But when I had took her to the doctor that Monday, she was like, well, she doesn't have a fever right now, and I was like, okay, well, she had one like before I got here. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So they tested her for the flu shot and they tested her for RSV. The flu shot is 80% accurate. So he actually couldn't even tell me if she had the flu or not because he was saying that she could possibly have the flu, but he can't tell me if she had the flu because her test was like it came up negative. But he was saying that it doesn't mean that she has the flu. So I'm like, okay, got it. But she tested positive for RSV, which is like a respiratory virus, as I said, and like can tie into like pneumonia and bronchitis if it gets really bad, when you have RSV and they're dehydrated and they can't breathe, they like to admit them. And if they can't breathe, they give them like steroids and things like that. I had never heard of RSV prior to that, like prior to her getting sick. I have two RN friends that both mentioned it to me, like, hey, when you take her to the ER, you should ask them to test her for RSV. And I'm like, well, what is that? Like, I've never heard of that. So anyway, so when I got there, I was happy that they did test her for it because I had like initially forgot to ask them. So when he mentioned it, I was like, oh yes, are you going to test her for it? And he says yes. So we sat there. She was on fluids for about 3 hours because she had to finish her whole bag. She went through half the bag and he was like, well, let's see if she has a wet diaper or if she starts to drink anything. She drank like 3 sips of apple juice and had a full wet diaper, obviously from the fluids. So he was like, all right, well, let her finish the bag. He comes back and he's like, she looks much better. She has color in her skin again. And she actually was talking to him because she wouldn't talk to anybody, wouldn't let anybody touch her. So he was like, okay, I'm not going to keep you guys. I'm going to let you guys go. The next day, that was like 4 a.m. So later that day, actually, he called me to check on her and find out if she was having wet diapers still. And she did, actually. And she was still taking sips. Like, I gave her some Gatorade to help with the dehydration and, like, some water. And she was doing a lot better. And by that Wednesday, I want to say, she had gotten her appetite back. And Saturday was her sister's birthday party. Monday was her sister's birthday. And by the time the birthday party came on Saturday, she was like super full blown, like back to herself again. We went to Sky Zone, which is an indoor trampoline park. And she jumped and jumped and jumped and jumped. It was so cute. I should probably like upload the video because it was just super cute. Between her, my husband, and her sister, like, they had a blast. And as always, I always miss out on the fun. What do you want me to do? You want me to come? Okay, 1 second, okay? So anyway, I actually just recently wrote a blog post about RSV, and I plan to do some more research on it because it was something that I didn't know about, and I also didn't know that they had a vaccine for it. So I've been telling moms, like, if your child is sick and they've been sick for like over a week with a fever and everything like that, like, I strongly advise you take them to the hospital, because they can test them and give you like better information on how to care for it, especially because there's no medicine that they can give you because it's a virus. It just has to run its course. But I'll also put the link below for my blog, where I also talk about like the situation and what I gave her to help her feel better in between the fact of us finding out that she had RSV. Doctors know nothing about like other ways to make you feel better that aren't medicine. You know what I mean? Like natural ways. So I've been leaning more towards trying to better my children's health, my husband's health, and myself with natural things instead of like medicine. Even my mental health, because I suffer from depression, which I'll make a whole nother video about and a blog post about. But I've been looking into like essential oils, and I just got a diffuser from Michael's. They have like this whole aromatherapy thing set up now, and the essential oils are on sale, and I got my diffuser for $4.99, like $4.99, and it was originally $49.99. So from $50 to $5, I was like, no, this thing is not staying in this store. Like, I'm taking it with me. It was on clearance, and it works perfectly fine. And then I bought 2 essential oils. So I bought one for Serenity. Well, one called Serenity, and I bought one that is lavender. And I kind of did 1 drop of each, and it smells so good, and it helps me, like, relax at night. But I've been off my medication, my depression medication, for about 2 weeks now because, oh, come here. Because this little one was sick and I couldn't go to the doctor to get a refill. So, She's better now, obviously, because she's playing and she's talking and she wants to play with her sister and she wants to be all in my face and in my video. Say hi. No, say bye.
Bye.
Bye. I have to go do her hair now.
Bye.
So see you later.
Me.
See you later.
Bye.
And we're going to find some books for Sister to read for Black History Month. So, see you next time. Don't forget to check out my blog. Say mwah.